What's going on, people? It's your boy calwu, and welcome to another episode of Planetwu. Today we'll be doing a top 10 list. The other day, I think it was like 2 or 3 days ago, I read an article on CBR called the top 10 isekai anime with the most unique concepts ranked. It was written by Jasminevenegas. I hope I enunciated her name correctly. Jasminevenegas. And I'm going to roughly go over her 10 list, and then I'm going to do my own 10 list. So, and I'm going to give like a brief reason on why she say, but y'all definitely need to go read the article. I'll make sure to leave the link to the article in the description box below. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to the video. Like I said, I'm banging out content every week, 3 to 5, every single week. And yeah, goal is to get to 100 subs by the end of the month. So, or technically the 25th. So I got 9 days to meet that goal. Just 9 days. 9 days. Okay, so Jasmine's top 10 list is as follows. Number 10 is that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Her reasoning was the first time that we seen the protagonist be reincarnated as a low-ranking monster, which is a slime. Number 9 is ReZero. The main character isn't overpowered. He has the power of time travel, but it's only used for him to be able to solve problems and kind of just use them in a unique way. Her number 8 was Rising of a Shield Hero. Because this was the first time that we seen a hero being brought to another world and just immediately being framed for a crime he didn't commit. Her number 7 is No Game, No Life. The issues of the world in politics is all resolved through playing games. Her number 6 was Saga of Tanya the Evil, which is the character was reincarnated again by God, but doesn't refer to God as God, refer to him as being X to diminish the term God because they were atheists. And pretty much whole purpose for this new life given to them is to spite God. Number 5, Cautious Hero. This is just about the first time we see main character overkill every single enemy. It was a lowly level 1 slime that he outranked by like 30 levels, and he used the biggest spell to kill it. Do you love your mom in her 2-hit multi-target attacks, where the main character isn't OP, his mother is OP, and it's an isekai where mothers are paired with their children, and they play this game, and they're stuck in this game until they solve their issues that they have with each other. Yeah, that anime was actually really fun. I enjoyed it. I actually did a song about the mother, and she was featured in the what video is that? My Waifu Wednesdays. I'll put that up here for my Waifu Wednesdays based on her. Mamako. Yeah. Number 3 was Digimon Adventures. Kids fight enemies called Digimon while using Digimon. So Digimon, technically the same race, different species with the same race, and they all come in good and bad. Number 2, Kimono Michi, which is, just imagine if you took the leader of PETA and put them in an isekai world where they were summoned to kill monsters, but this person only looks at monsters as animals that are misunderstood and wants to open up a pet shop. And that made this character and that anime very interesting. It was great. It was over the top. First episode all the way to the end, it was over the top. And it's the first time we actually seen somebody bring over a professional wrestler as your main character, and it was pretty dope. Number 1 was Inuyasha for her. Because it was a high school girl being sent back in time, and she dealt with demons and monsters and different hunters and things of that nature. Like I said, I'm gonna put the link to that article down below. Go ahead and give it some clicks. Read the article. See what she's talking about in depth. I kind of just glazed over it because I don't want to, take away from what she did. It's a good piece. So yeah, my top 10. My number 10 is Log Horizon. The reason my number 10 is Log Horizon is because this is the first time that we see a support character being the main character, and he's not OP as in I can do all of this myself. He's OP for the fact that how great he strategizes and sets everybody around him up for success, and the way he gathers information and the way he uses the information and the way he works and operates is just amazing. So that's why Log Horizon is my number 10. My number 9 is Grimgar of Fire and Ash. I think is what the subtitle is. Yeah, Fire and Ash. The reason Grimgar is my number 9, this is the first time we actually seen in an isekai just like extreme prejudice and like a realism of a party that like where you don't see nobody's OP. Nobody in a party is OP. You literally watch this group scratch and scrape and struggle to kill what in our minds, for people who are gamers that play MMOs, in our minds, a level 1 goblin, bro, if me and 4 of my boys is jumping a level 1 goblin, that motherfucker's dead easy, no issues, period. In this one, they struggled and almost lost their lives fighting a level 1 goblin as a team. You know what I'm saying? And I just watch them grind and scratch and scrape. And honestly, this anime not even continuing and get more seasons is literally a heinous crime to the anime community because it is amazing. It is top notch character development, top notch world building. Like this anime is as perfect as you're gonna get for as far as isekais, in my opinion. My number 8 is Drifters. Drifters is an interesting anime because it follows that, it follows that same formula as in, we summon, people from one world into our world to help us fight what we can't fight. The one thing Drifters did that was very unique in my opinion is it grabbed historical figures and not even just figures, but historical warriors throughout different times and had them fight as a unit to help the humans fight dragons and elves and dwarves and monsters and other type of creatures, and that made this anime really good. The animation was great, the fight scenes were pretty cool. If you haven't seen Drifters, you should definitely watch it. Like I said, and that aspect of them taking historical figures made it really dope. It made me enjoy it. My number 7 is I'm Standing on a Million Lives. I still haven't done a full-blown review for it, but if you heard me mention this anime before, you heard me gush about it. If not, allow me to reintroduce it again. I'm Standing on a Million Lives is a 2020 anime isekai that puts you in this thing. It takes the characters. You think they're operating in a video game world. Things go on, and then as it progresses, you learn that they are operating in a parallel world. So they're operating in an alternate Earth. So Earth 1, take people from Earth 1 and they're operating in, we'll just say Earth 15 or something like that. And they got monsters and like all type of factions, and they still kind of like are in like they're probably technically in like the Bronze era as far as like where the setting is, because they still doing horse-drawn carriages and, swords and shields and things of that nature. You don't have anybody with guns or nothing like that. And just how they bring the characters in is interesting. It's just really dope. My number 6 is the same as her number 6, Saga Tanya the Evil. The anime is really dope. I also chose this one as my number 6 for pretty much the same reasons as Jasmine, for the simple fact that this is the first isekai that we see where God was introduced and the character didn't just go, oh my God, you actually really exist. Oh my goodness. You know what I'm saying? Or being like, holy crap, you're a god? Well, this is some bullshit. I died on some fucked up shit. Can you give me something else? It was kind of like this conversation between them was like, oh, so you're God? Like, yeah, my bad, this wasn't supposed to happen to you, but it is. And it's like, well, I don't believe in God, so fuck what you talking about. And it's like, well, I'm gonna change your mind to make you believe in me. I'm gonna reincarnate you with all your memories into a whole new person in a whole new world, and eventually you will worship me. You will recognize that God exists. And just Tanya being reincarnated and just, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a 40-year-old man that died and got turned into a little girl. And just go, you know what? No, fuck you. You don't exist. Everything I'm doing will be to spite you. And it made for a great premise. It makes for a great anime. My number 5 is Shield Hero. Rising of a Shield Hero. That was her number 8. This is my number 5. The reason Rising of the Shield Hero is my number 5 is because this is definitely the first time where you see a hero is brought to another world to, you know, it's supposed to be, yay, we got a savior. And then everybody just treat him like trash. And then it's the first time we see the main character, you know, instantly go down this anti-hero path of like, fuck what you talking about, I'm doing this. You get in my way, I'm gonna murder you. Fuck what you talking about. You know what I'm saying? And of course we seeing that now with Attack on Titan and things of that nature. But this is like Eren wasn't really done wrong initially like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, in hindsight, from where we are now to looking back, yes, he was. But in that moment, not really. You know, not like Naofumi. Like, this is a world he was born in, so the craziness is meant to happen. Naofumi, this is a world he was brought to be a savior and was treated like trash. That's why that's my number 5. My number 4 was her number 7. No Game, No Life. No Game Life holds a special place for me because Blank as a tactical duo and Sora as just a solo tactician is bananas. Is amazing. If you haven't seen No Game, No Life, it's literally a world where if you want to steal from me, you have to challenge me to a game, and then we both got to put up something of equal that we deem equal value. We execute the game, and whoever wins it's winner takes all. And it makes for some interesting story, especially with different races there, and like different races having magics and powers, and humans not having anything. So they come in here as humans and got to try and figure out, like, it's just great. My number 3 is Dog Days. I've sung praises before on Dog Days, but not since I started this new trek and era of actually video casting. I got audio casts out there that I'm most likely gonna start back doing, bouncing back some of these down as audio casts for Dog Days. I champion Dog Days. Dog Days is a shoujo about a guy, this young kid getting summoned to a world where it's humanoid dogs and cats. So Neko yokai and Inu yokai in a sense, for lack of better terms at this current point. So humanoid dogs, humanoid cats are fighting against each other. Because there was bloody wars and stuff that went down, they changed their world to where they fight what they call war games. So whenever they have disputes against each other, they fight in these war games where permanent death doesn't happen. There's low risk and rates of, any major injuries that happen. Of course, accidents happen, but and you would think like, okay, this is, it's shoujo, so it's real cutesy. Okay, whatever. But no, the junk is legit. They got shoujo level action fighting scenes. And what makes it really dope for me is when you kill somebody on the other team, instead of somebody dying because it's a game, it's a war game, they actually turn into like a chibi version of like the animal that they are. So like if you kill the girl who's a tiger, she turns into a little round fluff ball with tiger patterns with ears. And it's just so cutesy and it's so cool. And like, if you haven't seen Dog Days, I tell anybody they should watch Dog Days. Dog Days is really dope. I enjoyed it. I didn't know what to expect when I first watched it, and then when I did, I was just taken aback, and I enjoyed it. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed it. My number 2 is also a 2020 anime, By the Grace of the Gods. The reason By the Grace of the Gods is this high for me is for the simple fact we didn't get a main character that was, you know what I'm saying? Like, the main character is for sure OP. OP is all hell. But we didn't get that main character that's like, okay, I got all of this power. I can do anything. I can blow this up. I don't need this. I can do that. It's literally this guy is playing Monster Farm with slimes and experiment with slimes. This is literally more of a slice of life than anything about, you know what I'm saying, him just being reincarnated in this world as a kid, and he's, you know what I'm saying, was off in the forest by himself learning about these different slimes, inventing different slimes, and pretty much trying to make life as simple as it was with 21st century technology, and bringing that back into this medieval-esque area, you know, this medieval-esque fantasy-based world, where this dude made cleaning slime so he can actually wash his dishes by using, like, running them through the slimes and then get rid of dirt and grime. He freaking made slimes that you can use to wash your clothes. He made slimes that he can use for ironing. Like, he literally just thought of everything. He made healing slimes, just regular, everyday stuff that you would need to survive. He made in this world through a slime, and it made the anime super dope for me. Excuse me. Let me need some water for that one. Yeah, that made the anime super dope for me. It's simple, it's easy going, it's nothing that you gotta invest a lot of time into. It's something that you can literally just watch leisurely. And it's not many isekais that we see that are just a slice of life and it just be chilling and relaxing. And that's why I enjoyed it so much. I actually can't wait for season 2. Season 2 is gonna be dope whenever they decide to drop it or announce it. And before we go to my number 1, I'm gonna do honorable mentions. My honorable mentions are Escaflowne. Throwback, if you haven't seen it, you should. Escaflowne was fire. One of the first isekais I actually watched. That time I got reincarnated as slime is here. It just missed out of my top 10, but it definitely is unique for the simple fact that the main character is a low character like a slime. I would love to see one from the aspects of a goblin or like a troll or something. We got the spider one. So What, I'm a Spider, and that one I'm thoroughly enjoying that one. But that's not on here, so that's not on my honorable mention. I'm just saying it. My next honorable mention is Monster Rancher, for the simple fact that this anime sparked one of the most unique games I've ever played in my life. Monster Rancher on a base PlayStation. If you've never played it, you don't understand the love and like the frenzy as being a little kid playing this and going to a shrine, and the shrine tells me, oh yeah, pop open your PlayStation, take your CD out, take the game out, put another CD in, and then close it, and then hit X. And I'm like, hold on, let me see. So I go and find like one of my dad's disco CDs that he got. Like, you know, my dad bought like a couple different disco CDs, so I'm grabbing one. I'm like, I put it in there, I hit X, and it spawns Snow Golem. And I'm like, oh snaps, I wonder what it'll do with this CD. So I open that up and I pull it out, and then I go and grab my mother's Janet Jackson music CD. I pop that in, I put it in, and it gives me Vixen. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. And I pop it out, and I throw a DVD in there. I throw in The Nightmare Before Christmas. And so everything that you put in that's a CD, it could be a DVD, whatever you put in spawns different monsters. There's a code on the CD that it reads, and it spawns different monsters into the game that you can add to your collection and your team, that you can train the monsters, raise the monsters, go on adventures with the monsters die. It just was, that game made me love the anime that much more, and it just blew my mind. And it was done by Tecmo. And if anybody that see this from Tecmo, y'all need to bring that game back and use it to scam people's prestige awards or trophies that they get from playing different games and making the different achievements. And this will make people play other games harder for the simple fact that they want to unlock more monsters, you know what I'm saying, for Monster Rancher. That's for me personally. I think it'll be a dope idea. The next one for me is Dragon Drive. In my earliest thirst of seeking anime, when I was downloading them directly peer-to-peer through MIRC from you know what I'm saying, through other people, where it took days on my dial-up, you know what I'm saying, before I had switched to my Yahoo AT&T base internet, Ethernet, you know, broadband is what it was called, broadband. And it took days to download anime and watch them. And Dragon Drive was one of the earlier series that I got into, and I loved it. It's a monster collecting anime, but it was about them being inside of a game, and then them like getting dragons based on their personalities, and like when they scanned them, and it was just really dope. I enjoyed Dragon Drive. My next one is Konosuba, because the main character is not OP. He's just a sleazy, slimy character that grinds and claws his way to every success that he has, and I love him for it. The next one, my next honorable mention is Inuyasha. That is full blown, has to do with just, you know, nostalgia, and the same with Fushigi Yugi. Fushigi Yugi is probably one of the best storytelling animes of all time, and it's just really dope. If you haven't seen it, it's an investment. If you don't plan on investing, I don't watch it, but it's a great watch for sure. Now to my number one. My number one is number one most unique concept for an anime is the devil is a part-timer. For the simple fact, you have a devil coming from his realm to come to the human world, just cause, you know what I'm saying, to run away from the hunters that's hunting him. So now he's in a world where magic don't exist. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to take over this world and make my way through the top by being a fast food employee and rising through the ranks until I own this bitch. And then I'm going to rule the world. And that is super ridiculous, but it's not impossible, especially with the franchise that he uses, their version of McDonald's. And you could work your way to become a franchise owner, and then you can own a franchise, and then once you own franchises, you know what I'm saying, you get into owning multiple franchises. That's more money. The more money you got, eventually you can run more shit. So it's a super slow way of going about it, but it's understandable, and that's why it won for me. It's ridiculous, but it's possible. And yeah, so that is my top 10 list for isekai anime with the most unique concepts. Like I said, go check out Jasmine's article. He said the link is in the description box. Go check out her top 10 list and why she chose them. And yeah, and once again, this is calwu from planetwu. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, and I'm signing off. Peace.
I know the streets, I see the nature of the beast. See the hunger, I ain't scared cause my mom ain't raised no feast. In a booth, on the rise, I am baker with the yeast. Dropping more bombs than